Neil, Billy has a question about Mane and Salah. Might struggle when Salah Mane go to the African Cup in January. That could be worrying for us. Do you see that as a big problem? I'm sure everyone else does.
Massive, absolutely massive. Salah in particular now, I don't know what it is. I don't want to say Salah's been criticised, but I don't think Salah sometimes gets the idolization that some of the like Suarez and Torres and stuff used to get. But I think this year in particular, and maybe off the tail end of last year, Salah is becoming an absolute beast for Liverpool. He is really, really elevated. Even in my opinion, it's like I always rated him. Don't get me wrong. But Jesus, I think he's phenomenal at the moment. His fitness, his levels, his energy, his creativity. When he's not scoring, he's setting people up. He's just getting better and better and better. And he's your real go-to guy when the chips are down. You know, he is your go-to guy. I think he's one of the best around at the moment. And he's in a serious purple patch. Missing him in particular, I think you can do without Mane because you can switch Jota. You can kind of put Curtis Jones out there. He's a couple of little options. I don't think we have an option anywhere near the level of Mo Salah. So that would be a worry. They'd have to find another way of winning games, or maybe, as Dave is saying, sitting tight, something a bit more clever.
But they probably do have an option that's close to him. The problem is Mane is gone as well. So when you're missing, Neil, those two players, that's two huge gaps. So what way would you see it shaping up?
I think when Klopp is in the past, he's had an issue with some of the wide men being out or injured. He's gone a kind of a one up front and a five across the middle ish, and again a couple of kind of square pegs and round holes where he'd Oxlade-Chamberlain playing slightly higher or Curtis Jones playing slightly higher. It never really felt right. Sometimes he used to go to Origi to kind of spearhead and then try. Obviously, he was never really. I can't remember the time that he was missing Mane and Salah. But you'd be something like that where you're trying to push the attacking midfielders further up the field. Missing both of them is an absolute headache. Like, I mean, Manchester City missing, your Grealish and your Sterling, Chelsea missing Lukaku and Havertz, Spurs missing Son and Kane, United missing Fernandes and Ronaldo. Like, you can't find a solution, but he's going to have to find a way of maybe edging out points, be it by setting up a little differently at the back, making sure they don't concede and trying to nick a goal. It's hard to know how Klopp is going to do it, but he definitely has to find. I could see him the likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain, Firmino, and then maybe Curtis Jones / Origi.
Well,
yeah, he's going to have to do something with a little bit creative, but he generally goes to one up front. He's defending the last 15 minutes of a game as a counter, or when he needs a kind of a plan B. So expect Jota up front on his own through the middle, or Origi up front, and then you get Jota and Curtis Jones or someone in beside him. But he has options. They're just nowhere near the caliber of Salah and Mane, in particular.
Dave, is the African Nations Cup going to kill Liverpool's chances, or have they got enough to get them through those 2 weeks?
I don't know the amount of games, but thankfully one or two of the weekends could be the FA Cup. So it mightn't be as many games, but it's probably going to be 3-4 minimum. And obviously it's going to be before the Champions League if they're still there. But it's where we lost it last year as well. The irony of ironies, everything went tits up in January for us. So it could, if it went again and then it went again without your talisman, like I'm born when I say this, but Salah is up until this season one of only two players who consistently gets 20 goals a season. It's him and Harry Kane. But obviously Lukaku and Ronaldo might have something to say about that this year if they keep going. But that's how rare they are. So if you lose him, regardless of Mane, we're in trouble. And any team with somebody of that goal scoring caliber, you're in trouble. So 3 or 4 games, and I have to be honest, it is going to be in trouble when I say City dropping points now, when at the moment the old 90-odd point season again is potential. We missed 2 of our biggest talisman and the ultimate one. Yeah, it could be scary.
I just scrolled through as you were talking there, Dave. 1st of January, they've got Chelsea away, Brentford then, and then Crystal Palace on the 22nd. So they're the three possible games that they'll be missing out.
And then if they go forward, and if there's quarantining as well, Roy, you know,
and if there's quarantine, and then it goes into Leicester in
it could
February.
be
So
mid-February, yeah.
it could be a big one there, and wouldn't have enough time to get someone else in either. So in January probably. So not of the class that you want to try and fill those boots in. So the question I'm going to give to you, Dave, is: should the African Nations Cup be allowed to be played in January? Because it makes absolutely no sense. And should clubs be compensated?
It's apart from, I think it was, I don't know whether it's because of the pandemic, but it was supposed to be in the summer. I don't know whether it was this season just gone or the year before, but it's always been in January for the last good few years because of the weather when they used to play in the summer. Considering the big European calendar, you think most tournament football should be in the summer because I think all the other continental championships are. So in that sense, yeah, but for whatever reason, it's been agreed, and it always was agreed for the last several amount of tournaments. So I'm not one of the angry ones. So in relation to compensation, no, it is what it is. But yeah, it'd be nice if they kind of lined up with all the other tournaments and play in the summer because like as much as it is a world and an international game, but the big boys all play pretty much in Europe. So and most of the continental championships are in our summer. So you know, it'd be nice.
But then again, next year we'll be looking forward to a World Cup that's going to be on in November and December, and you know the leagues are going to be shut down for that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, kind of. But that's FIFA. They're the big boys. They can do whatever they want, and they know where their sugar daddies are. You know what I mean?